Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about Clover Health, known as CLOV, previously known as SCH. Now I'm going to go briefly through technical analysis after due diligence. It's not a lot of technical analysis to cover, but I'm going to give you a lot of updates on here, and make sure to drop a like to this video to help this channel grow, subscribe, and notifications on. I did cover this one a few times before. If you'd like to watch my previous videos, you'll find it in the description below, but let's jump right into this one. So, Clover Health. Now, this one here is a little bit different. It's not just an insurance company. It is very much off having premium plans for healthcare for the elderly. It tailors for specific type of age groups as well. So someone like me, for instance, who's a little bit on the younger age, well, a lot on the younger age compared to some fellows, I can't get these kind of insurances, but they do tailor for a specific group. Now they officially have their own ticker, which is amazing. If you would like to go to investor relations, you can go on to basically find their deeper dive presentation. And basically from 2019 to 2025, there's a 14% CAGR, almost a double off of Medicare Advantage, because it's the largest untapped market. Now, they don't cover it in every state. There's specific states they do cover it in. And some of the things that I want to show you here today is basically their comparison to Medicare. And I'll show you why I'm talking about that one, especially with Medicare. But before doing so, the current incumbent plans are high in annual costs and low access, and Clover tries to disrupt that market. Now, on Medicare, it still has around 41% cost saving. And so that is still massive, especially for folks that are on the bound of retirement as well. So every dollar kind of counts. Unless your parents have left you billions of dollars, then this video will probably just be for investing. Anyway, the next thing here I want to look at is a little bit if there's any new financial releases. You'll start finding that there are 13Ds and 13D investments, which is part of what the reverse merger usually brings with, because guess what? There are more parties that are investing in this one other than just SCH being renamed. And I did cover a lot of these things here. This document here for 424B3, I did cover this one. It was previously the proposed merger, and this is the official merger. So if you'd like to dive into it and find information in there, but I've covered a lot or everything that was in there before. I did go over it once again. There's nothing new. I mean, the only thing that is new is probably the percentages, the final percentages of who takes what in terms of the total shares. The next thing here I want to look at is institutional buyers. However, institutional buyers here are a little bit, basically, well, it's going to be all around the 12th of January if you're looking at it, but or here for 15th of January, my bad, for SCH sponsor, they are holding 26.8%. Institutional buyers, nothing happening in 2021. Now, the next thing I want to cover here is Biden's plan on Medicare for all. So apparently this is all news that I was able to pull up from sites that I believe are neutral. So before you start bashing me with political things, try to keep an open mind. I'm Canadian, so I'm just trying to find a neutral news site. So the coronavirus crisis hasn't changed Joe Biden's mind on Medicare for all. He basically says that a single player will not solve that all. He said that on way ago before even elections, and he said that he opposes Medicare for all. So that is something to consider. And the next thing is that he supports growing for Biden Medicare at the age of 60. And so over the years, to lower, basically the Democrats from the Senate wanted to lower the Medicare to as young as 55 or 50. Now, this will bring a little bit of a different disadvantage for Clover Health. So Medicare at 60 also depends on the Georgia vote, because they have now the Senate majority. Well, 50-50, and Vice President-elect, soon to be Vice President, will be the breaker vote. So the big thing about this one here is Medicare, I believe, starts in around the same time as Clover Health as well plans, or Clover Health starts at the same time as Medicare. So that means they will have to increase their coverage there. But nonetheless, I do believe that they were able to compete with it. So that is just something to consider later on. Not a big deal in my head, but still might freak some investors out about Joe Biden wanting to give Medicare for everyone. But there is a little bit of a difference between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders in that sense. They have different agendas. So I do recommend that you do watch their plans, even though if you're Republican as well, or independent, it's always good to know what their plans are to see what markets or stocks will affect it and go on and trade from there. At the end of the day, we're here to make money. Now on Finviz here, I was able to pull this really nice chart. I don't really like Finviz in terms of anything other than a scanner, and I'll make a video later on showing you how to use it. But take a quick look into this here. You see a massive jump, well, at the time 11:52, dips back down, and then it jumps all the way back, and then as soon as around like 12th of January or whatnot, starts dropping down. And does that remind you of anything? If you watch my videos before on SPACs, I really start showing this one every single time. There you go. You see the bit of a jump, the pull back, the massive jump, and then starts dropping. You see the kind of relation here? And that usually happens. It's textbook SPACs, textbook. And what's going to happen is it's going to drop, and it's going to drop, and then it's going to stabilize, and it's going to bounce. It's going to bounce, it's going to see a jump, and then it's going to start accumulating for the future, and then for long term, it's going to start playing as its own. So people who are just buying it because it's SPACs, it's going to run, they're selling out. That is normal, because there is a SPAC rush, and people are more told to sell or right before the merger happens, or right before the Clover, like the new ticker happens. So now comes to the question to, what do I think it's going to drop? Now, on my broker, I don't have the exact chart like this one here, so I need to just for a second. There is a support at the 1320 mark right now. That's a very strong one. It'll be tested to see if it breaks this one here. I rarely ever use Finviz for charting, but they have the entire chart. A broker doesn't. The next thing is 1276, and then the next thing here, you're looking at 1211, and then a very, very strong one, if you can see it, 1152. And then from there on, you could say, yeah, 1114 is a strong one, and then 1070. So these are the stronger ones, 1038. Now, in terms of resistances, well, let's now go towards my broker. But if you haven't done so, please, 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 make sure you actually drop a subscribe and leave your notifications on. It really helps my channel, even though you think it's just cliche. I don't get paid per subscribers, but it helps me get my channel recognized. So Clover Health here, I don't have the 1 days or 1 week, so we're just going to go with 2 hours. With the 2 hours, you get to see it has dropped significantly. You're going on from 1724 all the way to 1310. Now, yes, that is $4, but that is still significant. I believe that $4 would probably be somewhere above 20% from that mark on. And taking a quick look here, you get to see that indicators are showing that there is a negative trend. The 30 EMA, the red line, is above the 10 SMA, and it's dropping quickly. And so it definitely does need that support level. And that's where I talked about Finviz when I told you the bounce was probably going to happen at this level. But right now, we are in a critical time where the 1310 is the bounce mark. If it does fail that, if it doesn't break that support, you probably will see a bit of a bounce back, probably maybe to 1520, and then dropping back again and retesting that support. Only reason I'm saying this, I'm not saying Clover sucks. I love Clover. It is only just that SPACs tend to follow this one. And I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Now, 1310 is its current support, and then the next resistances are 1408, 1468, 1517, 1566, and 1635, and 1724. That is on the Fibonacci retracement level. Now, just using the supports and resistances on a price line action, we get to see the current support sits at, well, actually right here, 1385, followed by 1374, followed by 1352, followed by 1310. Significant resistances sit at 1436. You're looking at 1473, 1483, 1542, and 1623. So now comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? I definitely think in the short term it's going to play exactly like I'm talking about in terms of the SPAC. The picture I just showed you earlier in the video. And I do think it will be testing the 1310. If it does actually reject it, it's going to bounce. It's going to bounce nicely and then drop from there on after a couple of weeks or so, and then start accumulating. It needs an accumulation zone. Right now it's in a dropping zone. Right now it's dropping down. I mean, there you go. I could just easily draw a channel here and tell you, okay, well, look at this downtrend. It is in a downtrend, and that is very obvious, and it's dangerous because you want it to escape this downtrend. You don't want to buy stock that is in a downtrend. Now, yes, you can buy the bottom of the day at 1310 and sell out 1399 in the same day if you're lucky, but sometimes what happens is it kind of starts slipping and doesn't even hit the top channel. But in long term, I would say wait until it accumulates and then invest. Short term, I think it is going to start seeing bounces and then it's going to tank afterwards. It is a little bit of a mess in this situation. But nonetheless, I do believe in this company. I think it's going to be great things. And if you don't care about leaving it in 10 years, $13.99 or $10, it's not going to make a difference if it's going to go to $20. Well, it does make a difference in big numbers, but keep that in mind. What do you think about the ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.